And welcome back. The workplace environment. It plays a crucial role in shaping the health and well-being of its employees, but in today's fast-paced corporate environment, striking the right balance between work and personal life has become increasingly important. A well-balanced work-life integration not only benefits employees, but also contributes to the success of businesses. Joining us again to tell us more is the Assistant Professor of Organizational Behavioral at the Gabelli School of Business and Fordham University, Dr. Ayse Yemiscigil. Let's try to say that 3 times. Yemiscigil. Did I get it right the third time?
Yes, you did.
You know, I get it wrong every time, but Lord, I am glad to have you back, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
And you know, it's important to think about this, that many Americans right now are really struggling to really get back to work. And what people tout is the fact that I just don't feel that wholeness, that wellness in the workplace. But the importance of wellness in the workplace, from your perspective, how important is it for a person to feel well at work?
Mhm. We are only beginning to realize the importance of well-being in the workplace. But what we discover in research is that most often well-being and productivity, which is usually what we care about in the workplaces, they go hand in hand, right? When a person is feeling good, is not stressed, not burned out, have find a meaning and purpose in their job, they're also giving the best that they can to their work. They're engaged, they're committed to their organizations. Of course, there may be some points where these things don't go hand in hand, right? Maybe a person may be well, but not productive. But workplaces can do a better job at identifying those moments where people can be well at the same time as they're showing high performance.
And we have what's called poor workplace. You know, there's a poor workplace culture and poor workplace well-being. How do you define that, and what are some of the causes, if you will, for that? You know, for that poor place.
We tend to talk a little bit about a toxic workplace culture, which we know has been very influential in driving people to resign, to quit their jobs during the pandemic. There's data showing that the main reason why people left their jobs was not really pay, but it was a toxic workplace culture. And this is a culture where employees don't feel valued and recognized for their work, but also for their humanity. Where managers are having unrealistic, unreasonable expectations from employees. They are not clear in their demands, and they are not generous in their acknowledgments. It's not a psychologically safe place where employees can be who they are and share and express their values and beliefs. This is how we think about a toxic workplace culture.
Well, when you have a toxic workplace culture, the hope is that leadership would somewhere step in, take charge. So many times that's not the case. We don't see leadership rise because sometimes they're part of the culture or they're just oblivious to the culture. But what role can leadership play in dealing with this toxic culture?
Leadership has huge responsibility. The more that leaders are modeling the kind of behaviors that are conducive for well-being, the easier it is for other people in the organization to also engage in those kind of behaviors. So if a manager is sending emails and making calls outside of work hours, it would be more difficult for employee to set those kind of boundaries for themselves, right? So that's one. But managers can also pay attention to understanding and picking up cues about burnout and stress, who is trying to build an emotional intelligence to understand when employees are overworked, when they need rest, because adequate rest is a human right, right? But leaders usually, or managers in workplaces, don't pay attention to when is it time to stop working. So these are some of the first things that come to mind, but there's more, definitely.
Yeah, and Dr. Asha, I think when we talk about looking at the workplace, one of the things that leaders have to be on guard for is burnout, because you can work an employee to death, or they can just be burnt out by the toxicity of the workplace. What do you do as a leader to try to strengthen your team to encourage them to get a balance, and also not just get a balance, but how do I avoid that burnout? What can I do as a leader to help my team to say, listen, you know what? I value you. We're not going to have you burnt out like this.
Mhm. Yes, we have strong data showing that stress and burnout is at an all-time high since the past 5 years, and definitely accelerated by the pandemic. So this is a huge topic for leaders to be mindful of. And usually, of course, healthy boundaries is important. Determining the right amount of work hours so that people can have adequate rest is important. But we also see in research that equally, and if not more, not necessarily the work hours, but how people perceive and how people experience those work hours is also crucial. If they feel like working hard was an unfair demand from their employers, if they feel like even though when people are working longer hours, they don't feel supported by their managers or their colleagues, right? So these kind of the quality of overwork also matters. So leaders have to be paying attention to not only the number of hours, but also how those hours are experienced by the workers.
I want to take the time for a moment and explore some numbers and some research that you did, basically helping in the area of when people find purpose in life. And you've got some statistics. When people find purpose in life, they seem to flourish better.
Yes, so purpose is a crucial aspect of a good life. I have been personally very interested in this topic for a while, and because it is different, when we think about well-being, we usually think about feeling good in the moment, right? Positive feelings, but finding meaning and purpose in our activities, even when they may not necessarily feel good, is also critical. It gives us a reason to live, and it motivates people to live a good life, right? That's why having a purpose, having goals that give meaning and direction to our lives can be an important factor for flourishing.
And so you had a study, and you had an opportunity to get some real information. Before we go, tell us a little bit about the study, the information, and the research that you did, and what were your takeaways?
Yeah, so that in that study, we looked at the relationship between having a purpose in life and physical activity, exercise behaviors. I was very curious about understanding this potentially strong pull that having a purpose has on how we live our lives, right? How likely we are to engage in health promoting behaviors. So what we found is that this was a middle-aged and older adult population that were surveyed over tens of years apart. And those who had a higher sense of purpose in life at the baseline were more likely to increase their physical activity behaviors in the long run. But we also found that we looked at the other way around as well. We found that those who had strong and well-established exercise routines were increasing their sense of purpose over time, which was precious because at older ages, sense of purpose tends to decline. So those who could have these kind of healthy habits for exercise, they could not only maintain, but sometimes even increase their sense of purpose in life in older ages.
Yeah. Dr. Ayse Yemiscigil, we thank you so much for being with us and sharing, because I think it's important for us to really take a look at where we are with so many people coming out of COVID, trying to find their place and trying to find their balance. And some really have a hesitancy to return to work. And it's also because, yeah, you got a problem with workplace culture. And at the same time, also, as you said, people who don't have purpose in life will sometimes also find themselves on the other side of the spectrum. But thank you for some much needed information, and certainly glad that we could be able to pass it on to the public. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me again. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, glad to have you. Now, listen, if you want more information, you can visit our website at AyseYemiscigil.com. Don't go anywhere. We got more open coming up right after this.